Now, the greatest radio shows of all time.
Suspense.
The Shadow Node.
Washington calling David Harding, counter-spy.
Classic radio theater.
The Great Gildersleeve.
Fibber McGee and Molly.
Dragnet. Gunsmoke.
The Lone Ranger.
Now, step back into a time machine with your host, Wyatt Cox.
Good evening, friends of the Inner Sanctum.
Crime drama this hour, we start off in Big Town. Edward Pawley as crusading reporter Steve Wilson of the Illustrated Press. This episode originally broadcast on March 8, 1949, The Crooked Eye.
Extra, extra, hero about the crooked eye. Blackmailer slays the countless. Extra, Big Town, extra.
I want a $2,000 payoff.
Here's your payoff.
I won't leave Big Town for peanuts.
Get out of Big Town or you'll go in a box. Lay off, Wilson. I got nothing to lose drilling you.
So your shakedown included murder. Okay, let's play it out.
Yes, listen to this headline story of The Crooked Eye, brought to you by Lever Brothers Company, makers of Life Boy Health Soap. Hear this exciting story of fighting editor Steve Wilson of the Illustrated Press, whose newspaper creed stands for freedom and justice against the forces of intolerance and evil.
The power and the freedom of the press is a flaming sword, that it may be a faithful servant of all the people. Use it justly, hold it high, guard it well.
Now, Big Town and the case of the Crooked Eye. This is the timely and dramatic expose of the dangerous and growing fake detective racket. And at its beginning in a quiet corner of a clip joint, where the young man unknowingly kept a rendezvous with a so-called private detective, and with death.
Hello, Carter. So you decided to meet me?
Yes. What do you want, Denver?
Oh, so you know who I am?
I know my wife hired you to get something on me.
That's right, Carter.
And you haven't been able to get a thing.
That's right.
Because there isn't anything to get. All my wife wants is her freedom and plenty of alimony.
And that's what I'm hired to fix.
How? How are you going to manage that?
I'll show you. Hey, Ruthie, come here.
Sure thing. Why, hello, Jimmy, darling. I just knew you'd come back to little Ruthie.
Hey, what's the idea? Get away from me. I don't know you.
Why, darling, come on, hug me tight, kiss me.
Get away from me.
Hold that pose, Ruthie.
Lay off with that camera, Denver.
Okay, break the clinch, Ruthie. I got all I need.
Yes, get away from me, you little fool.
Okay, handsome. I gotta get ready for my chorus routine. Don't think it wasn't fun.
All right, you slimy Seamus. What do you think you're going to gain by this frame-up?
About $2,000, Carter.
What makes you think I'd give you $2,000 if I had it?
Because it'll cost you plenty more if your wife gets a fat alimony set.
Why, you dirty blackmailer.
No, you got me wrong, Carter. I'm just selling you a very valuable camera.
You're not selling me anything.
Got a swell flash attachment, good fast lens, takes perfect pictures, never misses.
Neither do I.
Oh, don't telegraph you. Punch you, sucker. Oh, come on, Carter. Straighten up. I used to train pugs before I got in the detective racket. Let me show you how. Oh. Okay, sucker. Here's my card and address. When you come out of that slugging and raise the door to buy this camera.
Hey, mister. The management of this joint don't like fist fighting so early in the evening.
Get back on the door, you big comic.
Nothing's doing because besides being doorman, I am likewise the bouncer.
You beat it or I'll bounce you off the wall.
Tough guy.
Yeah, take a look at that dope on the floor and beat it or I'll give you some of the same.
Two other fellas we both think we are. Let's take a look.
Lay off. Let go.
Hey. How do you like this Russian bear hug?
Lay off, will you? You'll crack my ribs.
Yes, rib cracking is a specialty with Boris Goodenough, who forsook the ballet for making with wrestling grunts.
Oh, you put me down, you crazy snuff.
Sure. First I raise you up high and toss you like a bull. How you like some encores, maybe?
I'll get your job for this. I'll sue this stuff. You tell that Carter dope he better see me tonight.
Hi, Steve. Got a minute to look at a batch of reactions to our safe driving campaign?
Sure thing, Lorelei.
Golly, look at these letters. There are hundreds of them.
Good. We'll publish some of them. When the public takes over a campaign, we owe it to them to keep it rolling.
Yes, you can't have a safe driving week and then forget it the rest of the year. I'll pick out the best letters and give them to Fletcher on City Desk.
Do that. And what about that upriver pollution scandal?
I'm checking on that, Steve, but some upstate politicians are sitting on the lid.
Well, that'll do something before public indignation blows the lid off. And some of them out of office.
Or into jail. Uh-oh. The private land to your so-called underworld listening post.
Yes, I'm expecting a tip on the new racket in our own big town backyard, Lorelei. Steve Wilson, Illustrated Press.
Mr. Wilson, this is Boris Goodenough, Nijinsky Pavlovich speaking in person.
Hello, Boris. How's the doorman business?
Confidentially, Mr. Wilson, it is like something from nothing good, which is why I'm calling.
What's the trouble, Boris?
Here in the checks room of the big town Paris cage, I have got a beat-up nice young fella who's got plenty of trouble, Mr. Wilson.
Is he badly hurt, Boris?
Not much yet, but soon, maybe.
Why was he beaten up, Boris?
Blackmail he won't pay, I think.
Blackmail? Who beat him up?
One very tough private detective fella, but I am tougher, and him I want out.
Nice going, Boris, but are you sure the man was a private detective?
Absolutely, positively, Mr. Wilson. On account of with this young Carter fella, he leaves a card along with a couple of black eyes.
Now, wait a minute, Boris. Any real private detective would lose his license for that. What's the name on the card?
On the card, it says, see, Denver.
Denver. Yes, I've heard about him. His license was revoked 6 months ago, Boris. Can you keep young Carter there a few minutes?
Sure, easy, Mr. Wilson. He don't feel like standing up much yet, let alone go any places in a hurry.
Well, take good care of him, Boris. We'll be over at the parrot cage in 10 minutes flat. Come on, Lorelei. Another dirty racket. Go get your coat and so-called hat.
Yeah?
That you said, honey?
Who else would be answering my phone for the blame?
Oh, honey.
Save the Scarlett O'Hara Act. What's the idea of phoning me at my office?
Well, I thought I'd better tell you what happened after you left the club.
Don't tell me that punk complained to the cops.
Oh, no. He's still half out on his feet from that beating you gave. But that crazy Russian showman called somebody.
Who did he call?
Some newspaper guy named Wilson.
Wilson. Steve Wilson, the racket-busting newsie of the press?
Yes. And he's coming right over.
Where are you, Lucy?
Back in the chorus dressing.
Well, get out of there, quick.
But, honey, my
Well, get out of there. Go to your apartment and pack your stuff.
But why, honey?
You're getting out of Big Town to where Wilson can't find you and quiz you.
But I don't want to leave Big Town. I've got a contract.
You'll have a busted head if you don't do like I say.
But, honey, I ain't got any money.
Get your money. Get out of there. Go pack your stuff, but quick.
Thus, dangerous cross complications are developing as Steve Wilson moves into this vicious shakedown racket. And we'll rejoin Steve and Lorelei in a moment.
Originally broadcast March 8th, 1949, Big Town on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox.
Are you suffering with arthritis or osteoporosis? Do you have diabetes? Did you know that these are just 2 of the hundreds of diseases that have seen improvement with Dr. Wallach's incredible longevity products? You can't get them at a health food store. The only way to get them is to call us at 800-214-0065. That's 800-214-0065. Do you have heart disease, fibromyalgia, or high blood pressure? Do you have a terrible time losing weight? Dr. Wallach can help. He was a veterinarian and cured diseases in animals. He felt that he could do the same for humans, so he became a physician. Over 50 years of research and helping people like you goes into every bottle of Dr. Wallach's amazing discoveries. Do you want to feel better? Learn how to treat the cause of your problem rather than covering up the symptoms with drugs. Call 800-214-0065. That's 800-214-0065.
Now on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox, more of Big Town, The Crooked Eye. This episode originally broadcast March 8th, 1949.
Now back to Big Town and tonight's headline story of The Crooked Eye, as Steve Wilson and Lorelei approach a notorious Big Town nightclub in the cab of their loquacious friend and companion, Harry the Hack.
Say, boss, Miss Kilpine.
Say it, Harry.
But get it to the parrot cage intact.
Oh, fear not, Miss Kilpine. I have been reading them safe driving articles of yours in the press, and whilst I have always thought I was a pretty careful driver, I have come to the conclusion none of us cannot be a little more careful.
If you got what I mean.
We get it, Harry. What were you going to say?
I was just about to offer the services of me and my trusty knock in the event of any eventualities with this crooked eye with whom you are about to tangle.
Thanks, Harry, but I hope we can settle this without any more violence. Just stop at the parrot cage and wait a minute. I may want to have you hack me to Denver's so-called office.
The first is as good as done, and the second will be a pleasure.
All right, Lorelei. Let's go get this Carter boy's story.
Oh, wait a minute, Steve. There's Boris coming out of the club. That's carrying somebody.
Holy moly, the guy's lugging looks out on his feet.
Yes, Boris must have a good reason for moving him.
Mr. Wilson, maybe you better get this fellow away from here and to some doctor quick.
Good grief. He's unconscious.
Yes, and when I'm phoning you, he acts like he's getting better. Then he goes out like a light.
Boris, you shouldn't have moved him. He may be suffering from concussion. Get him in the cab here.
Yes. Let me give you a hand, Boris. We better get him to a hospital.
Just hold the taxicab door open, Mr. Wilson. Him, I handle like a baby.
Well, get here in the back with him, Boris. I'll sit on the jump seat.
Yes, I hold him, and you see if there is anything you can do, Miss Gilbert.
Oh, gee. His head's cut. There's blood behind his ear.
Yes, drive to the general hospital, Harry.
Check force on a double-double.
Maybe I should not have moved him, Miss Gilbert, but after I make with the telephone to you, something else happens, which makes me think maybe this feller, I should get him out of the parrot cages before something worse happens to him.
What happened, Boris?
After I'm talking to you, Mr. Wilson, I find a hoop dancer called Ruthie eavesdropping, and in the dressing room she makes phone calls to this Denver feller who wants her to get out of Big Town quick like rabbit.
That means she's mixed up in this shakedown.
Nah. And she dressed quick and runs to her apartment to pack some things.
That fits. You know where she lives, Boris?
At the Big Town Arm.
Harry, stop the cab.
Check force, but how come?
Let us out. Come on, Lorelei.
Well, what about this boy,
Boris
Steve?
and Harry can take him to the hospital. I think we can take care of the rest of his troubles. We'll pick up another cab to the Big Town Arms. Let's go.
Come on in, Steve. The door isn't locked.
What's the idea of wasting time? Why ain't you packed and ready to go?
Oh, I'm ready, honey. I just packed a few things.
Well, pack all your duds. You're clearing out.
Oh, I don't want all that worn old stuff on the bed. I told the maid she could have it. I'll be getting a whole new outfit.
With what?
Why, with the money you're going to give me for getting out of Big Town and keeping you out of trouble.
Listen, Ruthie, quit kidding yourself. Where you're going, those duds will be plenty good enough. Now, pack them.
I will not. You wouldn't be seen dead in those old rags in Mexico City.
You ain't going anywhere near Mexico City.
All right, then. Get me a plane ticket to Hollywood.
Hollywood?
Okay, Florida. Get a chlorine job down there. And the place is simply crawling with sugar daddy.
Now, listen, Feather Brain, you're going to a hideout, a boarding house upstate, about 50 miles from here.
I am not. I'm not going to go twiddle my thumbs in some cheap dump to keep you out of a jam.
Listen, you...
Stop it, Sid. It hurt my arm.
I'll wring your neck if you don't do like I tell you. Pack that stuff quick.
Sid, I won't give up my job at that parrot cage. My nice gentleman friend. But for you or anybody else, you tin-horn shamus.
Oh, so now I'm a tin-horn shamus. Am I?
You keep away from me, Sid. If you beat me up like you did that Carter kid, I'll tell that guy Wilson everything I know about you.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. Keep away from me, Sid. I'll tell all about the guys and dames I helped your friends for shakedown.
You've got your southern accent, funny child. Stop backing away from me and fall out that window.
Keep away from me, Sid. Don't you dare hit me.
You're gonna fall. You're gonna squawk.
Oh, no, I didn't, Sid. I didn't mean it. I was just kidding.
You don't go for it.
I didn't mean it, Sid. You can't blame a guy for trying to make a good deal. I didn't really mean it. I'll go anywhere you say.
I say you, will you, double-crossing, two-timing little twist.
Sid, let go. I'll go to that dump. I'll stay there.
You changed my mind.
Why? What's happened to Carter? He can't. He was out cold when I left the club.
It don't matter. You'd cross me up. You'd shake me down if you got a chance.
Oh, no.
Sell me out.
No.
Try and state evidence if that dope dies.
Oh, no, I won't, Sid. Please let me go.
I ain't gonna chance it. Hold stiff.
Sid. What are you gonna do?
I'm gonna make sure you don't squawk to Wilson or anybody else.
Thanks, driver. Keep the change. Come on, Lorelei.
Okay, Steve. You know, I've been thinking...
You may not have much time to think if we're going to question that girl before she skips town.
Well, that's what I've been thinking about. If we both go barging in on her, she may shut up like a clam.
Well, in that case, she'll talk to the police as soon as they picked up Sid Denver.
Well, hadn't you better notify them to grab Denver at his office before he hears young Carter is too badly hurt to meet him there?
Yes, I'm going to phone Callahan from the lobby.
Callahan? Homicide? You think Carter's so badly hurt he may die?
He might. But whether he does or not, his bruises and cuts have all the trademarks of brass knuckles. Lorelei, and Denver's attack can be assault with a deadly weapon, and the charge can be manslaughter.
Well, it's more important than ever to get that girl to talk.
Yes, let's get in there before she slips out a back exit of the Big Town Arms.
Steve, let me go up and try to get in her apartment and talk to her while you're phoning Callahan.
No, Lorelei. It will only take a few seconds, and that girl may think Carter is dead if you go up there and start pumping her.
But, Steve, she may get away. Now, please, let me try.
Absolutely not, Lorelei. I'd rather let her get away than risk your neck. Now, come on inside and wait while I make that call to Callahan of homicide.
Doggone Steve Wilson. Always trying to keep me from doing my reporter job because I happen to be a female. Oh, this must be Ruthie's apartment. As a female, I think I can handle her better than he can. Golly, I hope we haven't missed her.
Yeah?
Oh. Hello.
What do you want?
I want to see Ruthie.
Who wants to see Ruthie?
I'm a friend of hers. Is she here?
What do you want to see her about?
It's personal.
See her at the Parrot case tomorrow.
Sorry, I heard she was leaving town tonight.
Oh, you did? Who told you?
None of your business.
I'm making it my business. Come in here, sweetheart.
Oh, you must be Sid Denver.
That's right.
Oh, don't bother to lock that door.
Why not?
It'll be broken down in a few minutes.
Who by?
Steve Wilson.
Wilson of the press?
Yes.
So you're that dame crime reporter that tags around with them, huh?
That's right. This time, because I foolishly disobeyed orders, he's going to be tagging around after me.
Where is the slug now?
He's downstairs phoning Callahan of homicide.
Homicide?
Yes, we thought it might be handy to have him around in case young Carter dies of that beating you gave him.
Who says I did?
We have one good witness, and Ruthie will make two. Where is she?
She's gone. She did it out of town.
Without any street clothes?
Yeah.
Kind of sudden, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was awful. What are you gaping at?
That piece of black crepe dress material caught in the crack of that closed closet door over there.
So what?
Black crepe could be so appropriate for some things.
Wait, don't go away, beloved.
Oh, looks like I walked in on something.
You sure have. Since you're so curious, come on. We're going in that closet for a better look.
All right, Sergeant. Since you can't locate Inspector Callahan, you better pick up Sid Denver at his office. Carter's at General Hospital, and I'm sure he'll sign the complaint when or if he regains consciousness. And tell Callahan I'm at the Big Town Arms, checking on an accomplice and come-on girl called Ruthie.
Hey, boss.
Harry, what are you doing here?
The Carter guy started snapping out that slug, and so I left Boris with him at the hospital and hightailed over here to see if I could be of some assistance. Where's Miss Kilpin?
She's over at the switchboard getting the lowdown on that girl Ruthie from the operator. Come on, we'll see how she made out.
You called a lawyer on this yet?
Yes, they're going to pick up Denver at his office. I tried to get in touch with Callahan of homicide. That's what took me so long on the phone, Harry.
There's a switchboard operator, but I don't see Miss Kilpin.
I'm sorry, madam, but Mr. Jones does not answer. Is there any message? Very well, madam.
I beg your pardon, miss.
Oh, good evening, sir. What can I do for you?
Where is the young lady who just inquired about one of your tenants called Ruthie?
Oh, her, well, as soon as I gave her Ruthie's apartment number, she went right upstairs.
Upstairs? Good grief.
Uh-huh.
Oh, gone that girl.
Oh, what? Is anything the matter?
I hope not. What is Ruthie's apartment number?
Oh, golly, mister, what is the matter? You know, you're the second man looking for Ruthie.
The second man.
That's right.
Holy moly, boss. Maybe Denver's here.
What's that apartment number, miss?
Oh, why, it's apartment 11A, but what's the trouble, mister?
There's liable to be all kinds of trouble if we don't get up there on the double. Come on, Harry. Let's go.
Golly, but these automatic elevators are slow,
Oh,
boss.
even so, it's quicker than climbing 11 flights of stairs.
Say nothing of the shape we'd be in when we got up. Oh, this is it.
Yes, come on, but wait in the hall. Denver may be carrying a gun.
There's 11A just across from... Boss, door is open.
Against the wall, Harry.
Check, boss. Watch your step.
Oh, wait a minute, Denver.
Wilson.
Yes? Why aren't you at your office waiting for your dirty shakedown payoff?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Let's go to the apartment and ask your girlfriend, Ruthie.
She's gone. She left town.
Where's Miss Kilburn?
You mean that lippy reporter dame that tags around with you?
Yes, I mean Lorelei Kilburn.
She ain't sure.
You're a liar. She came up here a few moments ago. Now, get out of the way. Lorelei. Lorelei.
All right, you nosy newspaper slug. Shut up. Turn around.
Oh. So now it comes to guns.
Yeah.
Your shakedown has turned to murder. Okay. Let's play this out.
Now back to Big Town and Steve Wilson's deadly showdown with a blackmailing private detective in tonight's story of The Crooked Eye.
Clam up, Wilson. Stay put while I give her the frisk.
You're wasting time, Denver. I don't carry a gun. And even if you haven't committed a murder, you're risking a long jail term for possession of that one in your hand.
I got a permit for this run.
Your permit was revoked when you lost your private operator's license for being a crooked eye. And a disgrace to your profession.
Keep talking and I'll knock your teeth in.
Put down that gun and I'll give you a chance. Oh.
And the conclusion of Big Town, March 8th, 1949, comes up in just a few moments. I'm Wyatt Cox. You're listening to Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox on your favorite station.
No offense, but are you a little fat when you look in the mirror? How would you like to learn the secrets to lose 3 to 5 pounds a week easily without joining the gym or going through any crazy diets? It's called Body Sculpt by Med Diet. For the last 2 decades, we've been helping people just like you that have pounds they want to shed. We've helped millions of people lose thousands and thousands of pounds over the years. And now it's your turn. Learn the secrets of how to lose weight with one simple phone call. You'll see an amazing difference in a matter of days. Don't believe us? We'll offer you a money-back guarantee. If you're ready to start losing weight right now, call right now to learn more about your risk-free order to Body Sculpt.
Call for your risk-free offer. 800-738-5332. 800-738-5332. 800-738-5332. That's 800-738-5332.
Yours truly, Johnny Dollar, coming up in just a few minutes here on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. But now the conclusion of Big Town, March 8th, 1949.
So Lorelei Kilburn didn't come here? Isn't in this room?
Clam up and quit bunching yourself to get this gun or I'll let you have it right now.
Your girlfriend, Ruthie, isn't here? She left town?
Get away from that hall door. Get over there against the wall.
All right. But those taps tell me Ruthie is in that clothes closet dead. You murdered her to shut her up about the Carter shit.
So what? You shut up. I'm getting out of here.
Let him come, boy.
Stay out in the hall, Harry. Keep out of sight.
Okay. Let him come out through the doorway.
Don't show yourself, Harry. He's armed. Killed his girlfriend. Has nothing to lose by shooting his way out.
You get a skin full of Tommy slugs if he comes this way. On account of the homicide boys are coming up the elevator and the stairs.
Oh, so you did call in the cops on this,
If you
huh?
played according to that rule, you wouldn't have lost your license. Turned crooked, committed murder to cover up, and now find yourself caught like a rat in a trap.
Oh, yeah? Well, I know my way around in and out of dumps like this.
Don't try breaking for it. Not out that window, Denver.
Stay put, Wilson. I ought to plug you for lesson in this. I may need all the shells I got in this gun going down the fire escape. Stay put.
Don't be a fool, Denver. Don't step out of that window. There is no fire escape in that court.
Don't kid me, Wilson.
Look behind you, you crazy fool.
And take my eyes off you for even a minute, I would be a fool.
You will be a fool. It's only 11 stories to the pavement. Don't back out of that window, Denver.
Shut up. Stay put.
Don't crowd 'em, boys. Elevator coming up.
Don't do it, Denver.
Keep away from this window. I'm leaving.
Boss.
Come on in, Harry. He's gone. Finished. The law won't have to take him for his folly.
You warned him, boss. You tried your best to stop him.
Oh, yes, Harry, but even so,
How did you know there wasn't no fire escape outside of that window?
I noticed when we came in through the court. What's keeping those homicide men, Harry?
Oh, that was my bluff, boss. I don't know if they're coming or not.
Steve, get me out of here.
Good grief, Lorelei. In that closet with Ruthie. I've forgotten. Just a minute, Lorelei. I'll unlock the door.
Oh, Steve, I'm sorry I didn't listen to you. I could hear what happened, heard that awful falling cry.
What about Ruthie? Is there any chance?
No, Steve, I tried to revive her. She's been strangled.
Good grief. That poor kid. Nothing more than a stooge. Come on, Bill.
Where'd she get out of it, even in life?
Won't they never learn, boss?
Some do before it's too late, Harry, but not enough. Get on the phone, Lorelei, call Fletch on City Desk. Now that, ladies and gentlemen, is just another story from the front pages of the Illustrated Press. Young Carter recovered, and we played up Ruthie's angle because I honestly feel it may help convince youngsters like her that you can't fool around the fringe of crime without the fatal risk of drowning in the whirlpool.
And incidentally, Steve, wasn't Sid Denver, the Crooked Eye, an exception to the general run of private investigators?
Yes, Lorelei. There are good and bad in every profession.
How about next week, Steve?
Well, next week we're going to dramatize a hard-hitting story of juvenile tragedy and parent delinquency, and headlined The Shiny Gun. But right now you seem to have something immediate on your mind, Lorelei.
Yes, Steve. Friends, you've heard tonight how Lifebuoy gets skin cleaner in your daily bath, keeps you fresh and attractive 24 hours a day. Now, I'd like to suggest that you try Lifebuoy Health Soap in the big new bath size. That size Lifebuoy is generous and luxurious. And that lather is so mild and refreshing. I love it, and I know you'll love it, too. Just ask for the new bath-size Lifebuoy. Thank you, and good night.
It's opportunity unlimited. Enlistment in America's armed forces today. For America's armed forces now constitute the greatest scientific enterprise in the world. Trained in the best technical schools, working with advanced techniques and equipment, today's serviceman is a skilled professional with a bright future in civilian or military life. Investigate the opportunities offered in the armed forces now. In tonight's dramatization, all names, times, and places are fictional. Big Town features Edward Pawley as Steve Wilson, Fran Carlin as Lorelei Kilburn, and is written and produced by Jerry McGill.
March 8th, 1949, Big Town, right here on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox.
Are you in bad pain? You know what I mean. Your knees hurt. Your shoulder hurts. Your elbow and back are constantly killing you. And I'm sure you've tried every pain pill or cream available at the drugstore. Am I right? Well, here's something you haven't tried. Pain Magic. Pain Magic is not available at any drugstore. The only place you can get it is by calling the special toll-free number I'm about to give you. And to make things even better, call right now and find out about our buy one, get one free offer. We're so confident it'll work for you that we offer a free bottle with your purchase. No prescription required. Call now to learn how you can get Pain Magic and get rid of your pain. Remember, your results may vary. 800-492-8164. 800-492-8164. 800-492-8164. That's 800-492-8164.
Now on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox, Part 4, the 5-part yours truly Johnny Dollar story, The Plantagenet Matter. This originally broadcast March 8th, 1956.
From Hollywood, it's time now for
Johnny Dollar.
This is Mr. Oldfield calling, sir. You left word at my office, Mr. Dollar?
That's right, Mr. Oldfield. I think I'm going to need an attorney.
Divorce, civil suit, what, Mr. Dollar?
Withholding evidence. Murder.
Let's take the murder first. Who did it?
I don't know, but I'm pretty sure I have the murder weapon in my possession right now.
Who was killed?
A man named Belden, I think.
What do you want me to do, sir?
Take my statement, notarize it, give me some legal advice.
Where are you?
Police station in the pay booth down the hall from homicide.
I'll meet you there in 5 minutes.
Tonight and every weekday night, Bob Bailey in the transcribed adventures of the man with the action-packed expense account, America's fabulous freelance insurance investigator.
Yours truly, Johnny Dollar. Expense account submitted by Special Investigator Johnny Dollar. Location, Vicksburg, Virginia. To Special Investigator Johnny Dollar for personal reasons. Attention, Chief Accountant, Eastern Seaboard Casualty Insurance Corporation, Providence, Rhode Island. Dear Jim, I'm attaching my own expense sheet to your bill for clarification purposes. Expense account item 10, 10 cents. 1 cup of coffee at the counter in the lobby of the Vicksburg police station while I waited for Samuel W. Oldfield, attorney at law, to appear. He was there in exactly 5 minutes.
Mr. Dollar?
That's right.
Sam Oldfield, sir. You're the only one here in the lobby, so I figured you were the right man.
Yeah. Cup of coffee, Mr. Oldfield?
No thanks. Gives me heartburn. But now sit down, will you? That was a pretty interesting phone call. Tell me, who are you, sir?
Johnny Dollar. I'm a private insurance investigator.
Mm-hmm. How'd you get my name?
I looked it up in the yellow pages of the telephone directory.
You don't live here in Vicksburg?
No, I'm from Hartford, Connecticut.
All right, sir. Now, tell me about the murder and the withholding of information.
Maybe I better start from the top.
Go right ahead any way you like.
Well, 2 days ago, I flew down here to investigate a small burglary at the Plantagenet Hotel. It was already solved by the time my plane got in.
Police?
Yeah. I had nothing better to do, so I waited around the hotel bar for my return reservation back to Hartford. Then I happened to walk outside of the parking lot for a breath of fresh air. I saw a woman and a man standing there arguing. When I got close to them, the woman asked me to help her. I did.
How do you mean?
Well, the man she was with started to act like a kid. He got rough. So I shoved him away.
Go on.
Well, the woman was upset. So I took her inside the hotel and bought her a drink. After that, I put her in a cab and started to send her on her way. She started to act sick about that.
Wait. Is this the woman whose picture was in the paper tonight? The one who died of poisoning and the police don't know who she is?
Yeah. I don't know who she is, Mr. Oldfield. Except that her name's Amy Duran. I found out her name because I found her purse and there was a gun in it. A .38 Colt registered to a man named O'Connell. I checked on the gun here at headquarters, went out to the address and found out O'Connell was a bank guard and had died about a year ago. I talked to his wife, Teresa O'Connell. While I was there, the man I'd seen the night before showed up. His name's Paul Dameron. I didn't tell him or Mrs. O'Connell about the gun. I came down here to give it to the police and tell them. But when I got here, Lieutenant Akins was pretty busy trying to solve the murder of a man named Belden, who'd been shot with a .38 3 times. There are 3 slugs missing from the gun I found.
You got a light, sir?
Yeah. Here you go.
When you found Amy Duran's purse, why didn't you turn it over to the police?
Oh, Well, somehow I thought maybe I could help the girl. I mean, her last words before she died were, "Help me." And for some reason or other, I thought maybe I could.
Do you have any cards or letters, anything like that? Something that says you're what you say you are, sir?
Yeah, sure.
Let's see. Okay, Dollar. Now, as I see it, you probably hooked up with someone who did some shooting. And that's what worries you.
I want you to take my statement and notarize it before I turn the gun in.
That'll protect you some. If they want to get nasty, they can, though. You know that.
Yeah, I know.
Well, as I see it, the main job here is to try to keep you out of trouble. And the statement explaining your motive for participation in the whole affair might help.
That's why I called you.
All right, then. Now, Dollar.
Yeah?
You didn't shoot anybody, did you?
No.
Okay, then, sir. Let's go over to my office.
We did, and I made the necessary statement, and Mr. Oldfield notarized it. After that, I went back to the Vicksburg police station to talk to Lieutenant Akins. The .38 I'd found in Amy Duran's purse was still in my pocket, and her words were still in my mind. Help me. Please help me.
Thought you was going back to Hartford, Dollar.
Oh, I decided to hang around and see what came up.
Mm-hmm. Nothing so far on the girl. No one's recognized her picture in the paper. Had to turn that over to missing persons. This murder case going to eat up all my time.
What happened, Lieutenant?
Old maid at the apartment house where this man Belden was staying found him late this afternoon. He'd been dead about 24 hours, shot with a .38.
You sure?
I'm sure. We did a postmortem right away. It's a pretty set case.
You know who shot him?
Have a pretty good idea. See, this Belden, he was an auditor working on some books at a firm of textile wholesalers here. Richmond Limited. The papers scattered around his apartment show he'd found a $10,000 shortage going over their books. And the chief accountant for this Richmond company is missing.
Yeah, well, that does make it seem pretty clean.
Yeah, all we have to do is find that accountant. Had an APB out for half an hour now. I think we'll pick her up pretty soon.
Her? Who?
Well, her, Dollar. The chief accountant for Richmond Limited. She's a woman. Name of, Amy Duran.
To all appearances, Amy Duran had been guilty of embezzling money and murdering the auditor Belden who discovered the shortages in her books. I didn't tell Akins that his suspect was the girl lying in the morgue at the moment unidentified. I knew that it was only a matter of minutes before her sister or Paul Dameron would be down to identify her. And for the third time, I didn't tell Lieutenant Akins about the gun. I knew if I turned that over to him, it would be a closed case all around. And somehow I didn't want it closed on Amy Duran. Not that way. For that reason, I went back to my hotel room for a couple of hours, and then about 9 o'clock that night, I found myself over on Polk Street at Teresa O'Connell's house once more.
Oh.
Hello, Mrs. O'Connell.
Oh, Mr. Dollar, isn't it?
Yes.
Oh, Mr. Dollar, I had the most awful news tonight. My sister Amy, she's dead. You'll have to excuse me. Oh, I'm sorry.
May I come in? I'd like to talk to you about your sister, Mrs. O'Connell.
Well, Paul came in with tonight's paper and showed me Amy's picture. He went down to the morgue to identify her. I couldn't bear to.
Sure.
I feel somehow, in some way, that you're a friend, Mr. Dollar.
Mrs. O'Connell, I am a friend in a way. But mostly I'm an insurance investigator.
What?
You thought I was a friend of your dead husband when I came here earlier. I'm not. I never even knew him.
But, Mr. Dollar, I don't understand.
I met your sister, Amy, last night. I was the last one to speak to her before she died. I took her to the emergency hospital last night.
Well, wait. This is all very confusing. You say you're an insurance investigator?
Yes. Now, Well, I got your address from a gun I found in your sister's purse. I traced it through the license to carry. This gun, Mrs. O'Connell. Your husband was licensed to carry it when he worked for a banking firm. Do you recognize it?
Oh, yes, I suppose I do. I think it's one of Ray's guns.
Now, please, let me find something out first. Believe me, I do want to help. Did you know your sister had this gun?
Oh, no. What would Amy want with a gun? I mean, well, she could have picked it up here any time she came over, and probably did. But why would Amy have a gun in her purse?
Sit down, please. Now, Mrs. O'Connell, you better listen to me carefully. Sometime late yesterday afternoon or early evening, a man named Belden was shot and killed.
Clarence Belden?
Yes.
Why, he worked with an auditing firm. Amy spoke of him. Mr. Dollar.
Wait. Listen to the rest of this. Belden had been working on books for Richmond Limited. As I understand it, your sister Amy was responsible for those books. Right now, the police have enough evidence to figure that your sister stole $10,000 from Richmond Limited.
Amy? Oh, no.
Now, hear me out, Mrs. O'Connell. They have that evidence in bulk form. They certainly have reason to assume, and they are assuming, that your sister shot Belden to keep him quiet about the shortage.
How can you say those things about Amy when she's not here to defend herself?
Please, I'm just telling you what's going on downtown, what they've found. This gun they don't have yet. I've withheld it. It has been fired 3 times recently. Belden was shot 3 times. By now, your sister's body has no doubt been identified. They've already established that she died of poisoning, and they halfway have the idea that she committed suicide.
No.
Oh, don't you see? They'll say she shot Belden to cover up and keep it quiet, and then saw how useless it was, took poison and killed herself to escape punishment.
You're horrible. Horrible. Go away. Go away from me.
I'm sorry, but in the face of all this, I want to help her if I can, if it isn't too late. I want to help you. But, Mrs. O'Connell, you'll have to help me. Now, why? Why would your sister steal? Why?
I don't know.
I think you do know. Tell me, please, for her sake, Mrs. O'Connell.
Why? What have you got to do with her?
I met her only for a few minutes, but in that few minutes, I got the idea that she was a pretty nice person. She didn't strike me as a thief. She didn't look like a killer. And most of all, she didn't look like a woman who'd take the suicide way out of things. Now, that's all I have, except that she asked me to help her. And I'm trying to do that now. Believe me, I want to help her if I can.
I've always been an awful child, Mr. Dollar. When Ray died, I tried to kill myself. Amy saved me. I remember then, at the hospital. She was beside my bed, and she said to me, "I'll make you want to live again. I'll make you." Amy was always like that, kind and decent. You weren't wrong about her. She was decent, thoughtful, good. She did everything for me. She gave me these clothes and a car, introduced me to nice people from her office like Paul Dameron.
Yes.
That must be where all the money went to. Not on herself, but on me, for me. I'm the only reason I can think of that she'd take money from the firm.
Yeah.
I didn't know she was stealing from me. I didn't know. I wouldn't have let her do it. She didn't have to pamper me that much. I'm not that much of a child. She didn't have to do it. She didn't have to do it.
Wait a minute.
She didn't kill herself. She didn't steal. She didn't murder that man. I did all those things because it was all for me.
Now, here's our star to tell you about the final intriguing episode of this week's story.
Tomorrow, all the evidence comes true. A helpless dead girl gets her help. Join us, won't you? Yours truly, Johnny Dollar.
Yours truly, Johnny Dollar, starring Bob Bailey, is transcribed in Hollywood. Written by John Dawson, it is produced and directed by Jack Johnstone. Be sure to join us tomorrow night, same time and station, for the next exciting episode of Yours truly, Johnny Dollar. Roy Rowan speaking.
Well, is this story wrapped up? You know, Johnny Dollar, it's not going to be as neat and clear-cut as it seems to be. March 8th, 1956, yours truly, Johnny Dollar, on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. Would you do me a big favor? Thank this radio station and support their advertisers. It is their kindness and courtesy that allows us to be with you each and every time we're here on your favorite radio station. Thank them, please. They'll appreciate it, and so will I. Also, visit my webpage, classicradio.stream. There you can learn more about building a classic radio collection of your own. You can contact me there, and you can also hear all of our shows on demand, so if you miss a day, you don't have to miss a show. You can hear it at classicradio.stream or through iHeartRadio, Spotify, Spreaker, TuneIn, Apple Podcast, Google Podcast, or Amazon. Just search for Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. Thanks so much for tuning in. Tell all your friends the great radio shows are right here at this spot on the dial. Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox on your favorite radio station.